I bought 3 new pairs of shoes because I took an ugly picture of myself this morning. The guy, pulling up the Foot Locker, the guy's like, yeah, man, these are the new colorways for the month. I'm like, well, thanks, man. I really hope that this colors will make me not doubt myself ever again. That's what we're hoping for. I've been getting older and stuff, but I've been seeing my doctor more often because I've been cooking hamburgers in the microwave. He's like, oh, Aaron, let me guess. Food poisoning again. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong. Maybe I need to use something with a little more radiation. He's like, or you could just use the stove. I'm like, yeah, but then I want my clothes to smell like burger. You get it. Yeah, we'll keep doing what we're doing. I used to have to walk to school every morning because I couldn't convince my friends that my dad's minivan was cool. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there like, well, hold on. Does your dad's Corvette have automatic doors? They're like, nah, it doesn't. But it does have a convertible, and that's automatic. I'm like, good point. But can your dad's Corvette fit us all in to go to soccer practice? Yeah, I didn't think so. Just saying. Anyway, now I gotta walk 30 minutes to school every morning because I can't take the jokes. I like going to church. I've been going to church lately, and I like it. It's a really good place to disassociate. I'm the only person in the pews talking about, what would make this better? If the guy up at the podium would shut the fuck up. Or at least be quieter, I'm trying to focus, man. I'm trying to sit here and think about the entire other world that I'm in right now. You know what I mean? I'm trying to focus on that, get some answers, get some clarity, One time back in the day, one time a girl sent me a picture of her courtside at an NBA game because she didn't know how to tell me that we should just be friends. You know what I mean? She's like, you're a nice guy and all, but I just can't do the nosebleeds. And I'm like, bro, the nosebleeds are fun. What you mean? You can throw popcorn and it won't reach. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can chill. Security doesn't get that high up. You can get away with a lot more shit. I'm just saying, nigga. You're missing out on nosebleeds, bro. That's cool. And these new stadiums, they are. I know that I'm really codependent because I know how to apply makeup on other people's faces, right? She's like, Aaron, I think it'd be more healthy if you just let me do this on my own. And I'm like, okay. If you hate me, just tell me that. She's like, oh my God. Every time you say that, I just pray to God you don't procreate. We don't need many, the insecurities. That's genetic. I don't think we don't need that. I feel like I only do stand-up comedy because nobody told me my life wasn't interesting. I don't think I should be up here talking that for that long. People are like, stand-up comedians are the truth tellers of society. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I got into this because I was trying to normalize self-obsession. They saying, stick it to the man. I'm like, fuck the man. I'm just trying to feel like the world revolves around me, and I want the kids to feel that way too. I like believing in God. I do. I like believing in God because it's comforting to know that I deserve to be poor. You know what I mean? I don't know what I did, but whatever I did, I shouldn't have did it. You know what I mean? It helps me sleep at night. My pastor's like, yeah, maybe you kicked your mom too many times in the stomach when you were in the womb. Maybe that's why you're in these situations. I'm like, yeah, maybe, who knows? It helps. Mystery solved. I feel like I lost my first fist fight because I didn't have my lucky socks on. That's tough, you know. And then your homies giving you advice and shit. My friends are like, man, you need to work on your defense. I'm like, no, I need to catch up on laundry. Shout outs to my neighborhood. I don't have an iPhone because I like disappointing people that thought that I would be a good hang. You know, we be chilling and they be like, oh man, you a cool guy, man. I fuck with you, dog. We should hang out, man. I think we should. I was like, yeah, for sure, we should. Yeah, I hear. Give me your number, and I just give them my Google Pixel, and they're like, you know what? Follow me on Instagram. Actually, subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah, we just keep up. We'll keep up that way. You know, we'll just update. I'll check my story. You know, I'm like, okay. It was nice meeting you. I think my friend pretends to care about what I'm interested in because she's having a hard time sleeping at night. You know, I got suspicious. I'm like, why do you keep asking me about my opinions on art restoration? She's like, oh, that's easy. Because there's nothing more boring than a man talking about something he cares about. I'm like, touche, right? I do what I can, you know, I help out where I can. I don't smile in pictures anymore because I'm running out of hair growth products to use. You know, people are like, man, you hate being bald that much? I'm like, no, I don't mind being bald. I was just like way happier and more confident when I felt like these Brazilian creams were gonna work, you know? It just helped to boost, my morale was better, my mood, when I just was applying them and they didn't work. And now that I'm realizing that, I'm like a little more down in the dumps, you know? But it's okay. Maybe we should try a different country, I don't know. I've always been patient. I'm a really patient person because I used to text girls out of my league like all the time, right? Like this one girl, she left me on red for 7 years. And then I saw her in person. I ran into her in person and I was like, thank you for teaching me the importance of taking things slowly and going one day at a time. And she's like, that was my old number. I never got those texts. I'm like, oh, interesting. So are you saying there's still a chance? She's like, no, nigga. I'm like, okay. Just a second. I get it. I don't respond to emails because I like to keep up the delusion that people desire my presence and my attention, right? I be sitting there like, damn, these niggas at the IRS, man, they are obsessed with me. They've got like 17 unread emails. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, I don't know why they just can't leave me alone, I guess, right? He's like, that's a problem. I'm like, it is a problem. They need to work on that and like stop being so codependent. Like, stop needing me. You know, I can only. I think the corner store by my house got robbed because some guy didn't know that he could be loved unconditionally. You know what I mean? He's sitting there like, man, I gotta get it or my family's gonna leave me. Like, man, if your family's gonna leave you over $400, then I think you married the wrong chick. You know? I really think that was a problem, you know? Like, you gonna pull up in here with guns? Like, someone's gotta die because you got abandonment issues? Like, come on, dog. I just went in there for a honey bun, you know? You over here stressing, thinking your baby girl's gonna leave you. Like, dang, that's messed up, you know? If only you knew that if you just were why, like, you know, I don't know. If you weren't so addicted to ass, maybe you would be able to see that this girl doesn't love you, right? Anyway. I live in a small city, and I like living in a small city because I don't like it when other people experience things without me. You know what I mean? I'll be sitting there like, I feel like I'm not invited to something. And they're like, why is that? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel it, you know? I don't know. But there's only like 2 places these people could be, you know? I'm gonna find them eventually. There's only 2, like, you know, where else could they be, right? And she's like, Who are you talking about? I'm like, Paul and Jeremy. She's like, you don't even know them. I'm like, right. Parasocial relationships are getting too out of hand right now. I cried when my older brother went off to college because he was the only reason that my school clothes were bully proof. Right? Like, high school ended up being really rough because you could tell that I dressed like I outgrew the hand-me-downs, right? And he's like, well, you could just develop your own style. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I could. You ever lose your sense of self because your sense of self was someone else's sense of self? Yeah. I'm realizing being related to my granddad isn't lucrative anymore because I one time didn't recognize him in the grocery store. I'm like, why am I not in your will? Like, you can't forgive me? That was like 5 years ago. It was one time I didn't recognize it. It's like, you know, he was like, yeah, and that was also the last time you saw me. I'm like, oh, fair enough. So I guess I'm gonna change my name because there's no point in being a Douglas anymore. Why do I keep the family name? If I can't get in the will, what's the point, right? All right. I don't mind getting into car accidents because it's about the friends that you make along the way. You know, I think that's the important part. You know what I mean? The guy's like, we should exchange information. I'm like, we should. Also, what are you doing Wednesday? Like, I think you're a cool guy. Like, you didn't yell at me too much, right? You don't seem that upset. You seem like, you know, it was definitely my fault. I don't know. Your car is nice. You seem to have it together, right? You got insurance. I think we should hang. I think you could help me. We could teach each other things. Like, I don't know. He didn't agree, but, you know, hey, you gotta try. I think that's the important part, right? I think that my older brother just bought a house because he thinks it'll help him win more arguments. Like, he walks around with that, like, homeowner's confidence. I don't like it. Yeah. He's like, I'm telling you, man, the Lakers losing is a recession indicator. I'm telling you. So he owns property. He's got to know what he's talking about, right? He must know what he's talking about. Sometimes I just watch people suffer through hard times because I'm too narcissistic to think that my advice applies to anyone else. You know, and they're like, man, what should I do in this situation? It's just so hard. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did this and that worked for me, but that's because I'm me, you know? So I don't know what you guys, I think you're hopeless. Yeah. I've never been invited to a bachelor party because I thought that a pillow fight with the homies would be a really good bonding experience. They didn't like the idea, but I'm like, man, no, for real. Like, I know it sounds sus, but it's like a pillow fight with men. Like, after 2 swings, shit gets serious. You know what I mean? Like, it gets deadly. Like, it's a dangerous thing after, like, real quick. You know what I mean? It's actually really fun and very manly. And they're like, yeah, don't come to Vegas with us. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm scared to get close to people because I'm really good at pretending to be an important person. You know, like I just talk the talk sometimes, you know, and then when someone like follows up, I don't know what to do, right? So they're like, why did you stop responding to my messages? And I'm like, well, because if I've known you for longer than 2 days, then I'm actually gonna have to do what I said I'm gonna do, and I don't want to do that. So it was nice knowing you, I guess. Like, I didn't actually want to buy tickets to the World Cup. I can't afford that. I just wanted to keep the conversation going. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just saying. I used to wear rain boots in middle school because I forgot how hurtful words can be. My friends, like, they couldn't take me anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I promise. I'm not trying to embarrass you. They're like, okay, then why did you wear your squeakiest pair of shoes to the school dance? I'm like, I don't want my feet to get wet. What do you mean?